yeah. You better tune in. Facts with Reem'o. Get ready.
And it's feeling like everything turned pain into games. Now we're popping champagne. It's feeling like
Yes, what's going on? You are here. This is Facts with Reem'o. I am your host, Reem'o Meerak. Here to bring you the show where ladies are going to try to do the best they can to bring you the best facts possible.
And the dude.
And the dude. Yeah, you know, hey, you know how it goes. And the
Can't
dudes.
forget it.
Nonetheless, let me introduce you to the panel. To my right,
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Giavanna, the chameleon. I'm a model, growing entrepreneur, and a Meerak specialist.
oh, woo!
Meerak.
Hey. Oh, I guess it's my turn
Yes,
now.
yes.
Hi guys, I'm Tanaris, aka T Honey. I'm a actress, model, bartender, entrepreneur, everything. I'm doing it all. I'm happy to be here.
To my left,
What is up? I'm your host of The Most Amelia is More, Amelia More, but everybody knows me as Amelia is More. Oh God, everything. Record executive, television host, journalist, actor, singer, sometimes. Just living life and loving it. That's my hashtag.
yes, and finally,
Fat dude. My name's Kiyoshi, aka Midwest Yosh. I'm from the Heights, and I just do maintenance, and I'm just an analyst.
all right.
I'm a simple dude, you know.
Hey,
Simple dude.
hey, all the help matters. Nonetheless, folks, our topic of discussion tonight, social media relationships. Now, we all know, in society, we do the best we can to mimic or even try to be of what goes on social media, because they're always on our phones every day. We look down, we look left, we look right, whatever the case may be, we always try to be what we see. Nonetheless, are they affecting our society? That's what we'll also touch on. Also, too, is love becoming the new trend for media? You know what I'm saying? A lot of stars, a lot of entertainers are falling in love. You know, sucker for love, you can say, whatever in love. Even real relationships, fake relationships, or what the hell relationships. Bottom line, we're going to discuss this over. So, nonetheless, let's get over on the first topic here, people. Are we allowing, is society allowing social media to dictate or determine their relationships? Who wants to take it on that one? Who wants to take on it first?
I think I'm gonna have to throw it in there. And just
Okay.
let,
You want to let that Ruger spray?
I gotta pop,
Bop,
set it off.
bop. Let's go.
Well, I feel really strongly about this. I feel like people just like to compare their situation with everyone else's situation. And I feel like you need to focus a little more on what you've got going on and a little less on what's going on out there, because everyone's different. Everybody's relationship is different. You can't compare yourself. But yes, I do agree. All these stars are falling in love. They're proposing. We got the, Cardi B and Offset, which I'm happy for.
Right,
we
right.
have, Keisha Core and Gucci Mane. I
Gucci
mean,
gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang,
that's
Gucci gang,
a
Gucci
lot
gang,
of love
Gucci gang,
going
Gucci
on.
gang.
That's a lot of love going on. But I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
Yes, Millie.
While we were talking about it, I also wanted to look at like how it's affecting relationships overall. Like,
Right.
I was at the restaurant and I saw this couple and it was so wild. They're sitting there. He's on one side of the table, she's on the other side of the table, and they're both
I hate
like
that.
this.
I hate that.
And I'm like, why did y'all go out?
Right.
Like, what was the purpose? Are you really on a date? Like, what is this situation? Not one conversation. They were always
Yeah.
like this. They talked to the waiter, said what they wanted. They were eating, and I was like, oh, that's just disgusting.
Yeah. It's
You know
like
what
that
I
a
mean?
lot of social
Like,
functions.
So, to a certain
Yeah.
point, social media is taking over people's lives.
Right.
They feel like they're going to miss something.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Kameli, come on, chime in on this. You are the young warrior princess on this and stuff like that. Touch us on your generation. Do you feel your generation has indulged themselves in the social media to dictate their relationships or what they do within society? What's going on?
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, that was the whole point of the internet, was to, distract us and stuff like that. So it depends on, like, what age group we're talking about when it comes to social media, because, as my generation, 25 and younger, like, we don't really understand life right now. So, anything that's being put in our face, most likely if you don't have that right guidance, you're gonna do what's right in front of you. And sometimes social media probably comforts people more than, real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't know how to deal with reality well.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, your best life is probably on social media, and you probably don't want to let that go.
People live two lives.
Right.
You know, it's a social media
Of
life
course.
that they
But that
show
was
what
It's a
it is.
persona.
But
It's a
that was
persona.
before social media.
Yeah,
People
but,
been
but
living
it's,
two
it's
lives. People been
amplified.
spooking
It's
for a minute.
amplified more now
Spooky.
than ever. Like, I mean, I watched the craze starting with like Facebook and stuff like that, but now between Snapchat and all these other different platforms, I mean, there's platforms upon platforms upon platforms.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you look at people, if you're really following people, like I like following people.
Right.
And on their Facebook page, it's one thing. On their Snapchat, it's another. On their Twitter, it's another. And I'm like, oh, how many personalities does this person have? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I think people are kind of getting away from who they really are sometimes
True. Right. Very
by
true.
living this fantasy life through social media.
I mean, it's just, it's like I said. I mean, it depends on who you are and like how you've been brought up. Like me, even I catch myself being so crazy about Instagram. Like I'll catch myself
me
like I'm
too.
like, all right,
Me
hold
too.
on, Gia. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. Like relax. Like I'm such like I work so hard and I'm so hard on myself so much. Like people who know me know that. But it's easy to get distracted into things. You know, it's very easy.
I think also that, I mean, right now, love on social media, it's kind of getting back to the roots and the,
It
you know,
sure
let's
is,
get
yeah.
married, let's come together, let's show love in a positive way. That aspect, I really do come in, like I mentioned earlier, Cardi B and Offset.
Right.
You know,
Remy
he
Ma,
proposed to her, Remy Ma Papoose, like Giavanna mentioned. This is love that you're presenting love in a healthy way as well. You know, you're trying. Does everyone want that at the end? The white picket fence in the marriage? Maybe not, but it's a good way to come back to the roots and keep it, you know, keep it how it used to be.
Okay. So can one say?
love.
So
Me
can one say that probably the entertainers are trying to bring it back for society to find to probably try to get an understanding?
I think part of it is that a lot of these entertainers are getting older. I mean, I remember when they first
Right.
started,
Right.
they were 17, 18. They weren't talking about none of that.
Exactly.
Then when they was in their 20s, they was talking about how many they can get in a different night,
Right.
6 a.m., you know, and
Right.
talking about,
I think
you
people
know,
wanna
so
build,
now
too.
that they're getting, I think now that they're getting older and have done everything else, I think that's part of why this message is changing. I mean, if you look at some of our celebrities that are in the marketplace, I love it because it's kind of like the way it was in the 60s. Age is not really mattering. Some of them are
Right.
40, 50 years old,
Right.
and they're still kicking it to a 20, 30,
Right.
18-year-old audience.
Right.
Right.
Whereas before, if you were past 20, that was kid.
Yeah.
Duh.
You're done.
You know what I mean?
Nobody wanna hear you.
No, we're
Yep.
trying to hear you. But I think internet has done a lot with that. I think technology, because it's opened it up to so many people.
There's a
I think
good and
people
bad
can- yeah, I think
to
people can have their
everything.
choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And I
good
think
and
that
bad.
choice is what's creating the demand.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, everyone wants to build that empire, and I feel like if you're you're a power couple, you both have that good income, you're both goal-oriented, you got the drive, why not come together and make something great happen? You know, you don't want to, when you're in that status, you don't necessarily want to date down. You know, you want to
Right.
make sure that you're dating someone that's doing what you're doing, that has the same goal and mindset as you. You don't want to date someone that you feel like is going to use you, or, you know, so, but I'm all for it. Like I said, I like to watch it. I like to watch and sit back and contemplate and, you know.
Which celebrity is it right now that's dealing with that right now as far as her husband, 10 years, whatever?
Oh,
Juju.
the Jennifer Hudson and
Yeah.
and David Ortenga's situation. Let me ask y'all the question. Let me present the question to you, ladies, here, which is the majority here on this panel. I mean, two guys here, but nonetheless, what do y'all feel about this situation? Like, what do you feel is the right amount of time that it should be tied to the knot? And then part B to that question is, what do y'all feel is should one get, if it's a female or the male that makes the decision not to because they want to care for the career, should they get the amount of backlash towards them for them making the decision not to get married? What's your take on that? Who wants to touch on that?
Listen, I think everybody's opinion is individual. I think going into a relationship, once you see that you want to deal with this person a little long term, you have to talk about it. What do we both want to get married? Or is this a goal? Is it a 5-year plan? Is it a 10-year plan? Is it even in the plan? Some people don't want kids. Some people do want kids. Some people want to get married. Some don't. So I feel like communication is key in these situations. And then if not, then what happens? Stuff like this. 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. And now you realize, I don't want to be with this person. You know?
Yo, Shatia, come on, man. You've been a little quiet over there. No quiet here on the set.
So
What's up,
generous.
yo?
I'm thinking about the situation.
Right.
And from what I understand, you have David Otunga, who a lot of people don't realize is a wrestler and also a law graduate.
Right.
And I think we we're talking about this even before.
Yeah.
About the fact that she was trying to press charges that he domestically abused her, but at the same time, I'd like to think that he knows better than that because he's a wrestler, he's a
Right.
massive person, and why would he harm this woman?
Yeah.
And also, he has a law degree, so he knows the backlash that could come from
Right.
him harming her. So it just seems like in this age of a lot of, which we'll probably get to a little bit later, about sexual harassment with certain celebrities, that we have this notion to automatically think that the woman has been abused, which most of the time is correct. However, in this instance,
Yeah.
it hasn't. So I feel
Yeah.
like we have to look at every single situation very objectively and look at all the facts. Hashtag
Yes, facts.
Facts with Reem'o.
Yes.
Facts with Reem'o, and really say what do we know, what do we not know, and make a very much an educated guess
Yeah.
from there.
But that's not the one I was talking about. She
Oh,
was
what
talking
you talking
about
about?
going down on Jill Scott.
Oh, the Jill Scott situation. Yeah, let's really touch on that. That situation was a little shaky.
That's intense.
That's an intense situation. Who wants to pick up on that? Just to bring you back to speed on that, if I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm correct on it. Jill Scott had married the drummer of her team. You know what I'm saying? So the drummer on the team, didn't reach to her expectations. You know what I'm saying? So she
As we
made
all
the
have.
proper decision to let him go, cut him loose. But there's been some semi-backlash towards her for that situation, right? What should have happened?
Well, I honestly feel like that goes back to what you were saying.
Right.
As far as, being with somebody that's equal to you,
Yep.
and it's not necessarily less or more. It's about living the same lifestyle.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think he just got comfortable with her lifestyle,
Yeah.
and she wanted somebody that was doing the same as her.
It's the drive. You both have to have that ambition, the drive. You can't just want to be
Can't
a
lose
drummer
it.
forever.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't be drummer boy forever. You know what I'm saying? But also, we got to look at two sides because I observe. Listen, you're dating your drummer. Take responsibility for it. He's not going to be a millionaire overnight.
No.
So you also know kind of what you got yourself into. It didn't work out because you feel like he's not pulling his weight. Welcome to America, 2017. That's like 80% of women. You know what I mean?
I give her kudos for not staying in denial. I mean,
Of
it was a 10-year
course, yeah.
relationship, and she wanted more and kept on thinking it was going to change, and she finally faced the fact that it's not. And I think a lot of women, they get caught up in this rut because they keep on living the fantasy of life
Right.
instead of facing the reality of life and
Right.
saying, listen, this is not going
me.
to change. This has been this way for 10 years. It's probably going to be this way for 10 more years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got to unplug from the matrix.
What
Yup,
you
exactly.
tolerate, you cannot change.
Right.
That's true.
Which is true. Which is definitely true.
Cut him
You
off.
know what other one I want to talk about is kind of in retrospect to this, but they were together for 15. Like the Mary J. Blige and Kendu situation. I was talking about that
Lord.
at work. Me personally, I'm sorry. If I have said diva, whatever, superstar, mega superstar woman in my life, I agreed to this, right? Why am I trying to force her to do a regularly woman thing or anything of that nature? I have to go with the flow. This is what I signed up to.
Yep.
What's y'all take on that in regards to that situation?
A
Who wants
man
to touch
and
on that?
I think a couple has to motivate each other to be great. You meet a person in the industry as the man or vice versa as the woman, push them forward. You know that she's a mega star. Support her mega stardom. Don't try to come bring her star down and then you end up sleeping with the help. You know what I'm saying? Per se. So I feel like he just had it all messed up. He had his reasons, whatever it might be, but it was a mess up. It was a messy situation.
I give Mary
Messy.
kudos because Mary's one of those women that has really worn her heart out on us.
Yeah.
And she's been through negative
So
relationship
much,
after negative relationship because she is that star person.
Right.
And it was more of the trophy than
Of
it was
course.
the person.